EAHEA. About accreditation. Accreditation is review of the quality of universities, educational institutes, vocational institutions, colleges, schools, distance learning centers, lifelong learning centers, online courses, corporations, agencies, professionals, and instructors. In all over the world, accreditation is a major way that students, families, government officials, and the press know that an institution or program provides a quality education. Accreditation may be either institutional or programmatic, and is a voluntary, comprehensive, and objective process of outside peer review to determine whether an institution or program meets the standards of the accrediting body in institutional, educational quality and effectiveness. The EAHEA provides institutional accreditation for its members. Whether a college, school, university, distance learning center, or program is accredited is important. Students who want governmental grants and loans need to attend a university, school, college, distance learning center, online course, or program that is accredited. Employers ask if a university, school, college, distance learning center, online course, or program is accredited before deciding to provide tuition assistance to current employees, evaluating the credentials of new employees, or making a charitable contribution. The government requires that a university, school, college, distance learning center, online course, or program be accredited in order to be eligible for grants and loans or other funds. Governments require that a university, school, college, distance learning center, online course, or program be accredited when they make state funds available to students or institutions and when they allow students to sit for government licensure examinations in some professional fields. Accreditation is a complicated subject. Informing the public about accreditation is an effort to reduce this complexity and provide the public with answers to these basic questions. What is accredited? Why is accreditation important? What is accredited? Universities, educational institutes, vocational institutions, colleges, schools, distance learning centers, lifelong learning centers, online courses, professionals, and instructors are accredited. Around the world, schools, colleges, universities, and distance learning centers are accredited by one of hundreds of international accrediting organizations. Programs are accredited by one of approximately some programmatic accrediting organizations. The database of institutions and programs accredited by EAHEA contains information about thousands of institutions and programs around the world. Links to the websites of these institutions are also available. When using the database to learn about a specific school, college, university, or distance learning center, go to Accredited Members Directory page and type in the name of the institution. To learn about an institution in a specific country, type in the name of the country. Why is accreditation important? Accreditation is important because it gives the assurance to the public, in particular, to prospective students, that you, as an education provider, meet education quality standards in the global market. Prospective students usually feel insecure accessing the international market when they need to measure the quality of a foreign education provider with the standards known to them. European Agency for Higher Education and Accreditation may provide a global education quality reference not limited or constrained by local regulations or idiosyncrasies. The comprehensive compilation of institutions provided by the European EAHEA Network and the UNESCO IAU International Association of Universities is usually limited to traditional universities recognized by their corresponding Ministry of Education. What happens then with many higher education initiatives and institutions that do not fit in this category? What happens with those who provide innovative pedagogical approaches, programs of study not yet recognized by the traditional education establishment, or simply those who are responding to the current global market demands. EAHEA accreditation becomes the best way to endorse them. It is essential to recognize that in a global market, accreditation does take on many forms. The perception of government accreditation as the gold standard dismisses the growing and major impact that many international schools are having on the future of global higher education. The question is not who or what accredits the school, rather, it is, how much accreditation does the school need to have? What institutions of higher learning should be considering is not adding more local accreditations in their home nation, but a truly international accreditation standard that may serve in the global market arena. Accreditation types. Full accreditation. This institutive accreditation type is for universities, educational institutes, vocational institutions, colleges, schools, corporations, etc., that use traditional education methods. Online accreditation. This institutive accreditation type is for open universities, distance learning centers, lifelong learning centers, online courses, etc., that use online education methods. Program accreditation. This accreditation type is only for accredited universities, educational institutes, vocational institutions, online courses, etc., and includes a specific program or course that has a curriculum. Full and online accreditation does not contain institutions' programs that have curriculum. If you want to get an accreditation for your programs, you must apply to program accreditation for each programs after the applying full and online accreditation. Accreditation application steps. European Agency for Higher Education and Accreditation has worked throughout the years to establish itself as one of the most credible accreditation agency in the world. With EAHEA, hundreds of institutes have received accreditation based on the quality of education they are providing, without any biases regarding location or financial standings. The points profile system, along with the representatives present worldwide, ensures credibility. The three-step process is as follows. Step 1. Institutes submit their applications via www.eahea.org and get a free consultation from one of our Secretariat representatives. Once the application is reviewed by the Secretary, they move to the next step. Step 2. The second step of the process is to visit institutions and inspect their facilities, faculty, education standard, etc. Step 3. Once the visit inspection report is submitted, our commission members review it and, if qualified, the institute gets EAHEA's accreditation. About the EAHEA accreditation status. EAHEA accreditation isn't a substitute of legal regulations. Accreditation is a voluntary, non-governmental peer review process. Accreditation by the EAHEA shall be understood to convey only that the higher education institution meets the EAHEA's educational standards. Such recognition is not in any way intended to substitute legal authorization, recognition or regulation through compliance with local government laws. Legal authorization, recognition, or regulation and government accreditation occur in the context of different reviews. Institutional accreditation. The EAHEA accredited institution is evaluated as a whole entity or in each specific program offered. Thus, the EAHEA accreditation status is programmatic, and it may be useful for the approval of specific programs. Global and international scope. The EAHEA accreditation focuses primarily on educational quality from a global and international perspective, not narrow interests, or political action, or educational fashions. The EAHEA is aware of the differences among countries that may arise in regards of fulfilling the quality standards set forth, so EAHEA will examine each higher education institution expecting their institutional autonomy and following a non-discriminatory policy. Due to this global policy, the EAHEA is not part of any country's governmental agencies. Academic mobility and credit transferability of accredited institutions will always be subject to the receiving country or institution policy. The EAHEA accredited institutions are entitled to claim accreditation by the EAHEA, use the EAHEA name and seal, receive an accreditation diploma, be listed on the EAHEA web as an accredited member. The EAHEA web will provide a link to the accredited member web. Use the EAHEA monitoring and feedback services. Be periodically informed of any comments received on its behalf. Get a fee invoice for tax deduction purposes. Promote your institution through the EAHEA Education Network. Access EAHEA news alerts and newsletter. Get discounts for all EAHEA sponsored events. For more information, contact our 24/7 available consultants at phone 372-6346-234, website www.eahea.org, email info@eahea.org.